All right, we are live. By we, I mean I. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Dobar dan, dobro jutro. Hope you are all doing well today. Hope you woke up healthy. Hope you woke up with your families being healthy. And today is April 24th. We're going to go ahead and talk about what happened yesterday in the world of BHX Logistics. And today it is going to be a solo episode, a solo host. Our man Munir has got an important meeting he's got to attend to, and I am on a bit of a time crunch as we have sales training going on this week. We are very excited about that, actually. We have a very good sales trainer who is with another logistics company that is actually in a different line of logistics than we are, right? We primarily focus on freight expediting and we focus on the truckloads from the brokerage side. They are in smaller type of shipments like those UPS and FedEx small parcels, and they're in the LTL world. So they're able to sort of fully open up on what we need to do to succeed in this world. And we're super excited, actually. We're super excited because we think it's going to be that big breakthrough, inshallah, God willing, that we need to start bringing some customers. You know, I keep talking about this. Growing with continuously relying on brokered loads is like trying to push a big boulder up the hill. You know, no matter how hard you're pushing it, you're gonna have to. It's just your environment is not conducive to success. You're pushing the boulder up the hill, and that's sort of where we've been at. We have to get some of our own broker, some of our own shippers and customers under our belt in order to be able to give you guys, our drivers, better paying loads, cut down your waiting time, and all of that stuff. And we're actively working on that. We're finishing this training. We're bringing in possibly 3 to 4 salespeople, so we're super excited about that as well. The job of these people would be just to spend all day calling potential shippers and having them use BHX Logistics. Those are always better paying loads. It's less competition. So until we get there, we're going to continue to do everything in our power with the current environment and situation we have to get you guys as much as we can on every load, minimize your waiting, maximize your earnings, and all that good stuff. Without further ado, let's dive in. All right, so yesterday we had 51 available drivers. The rest of you guys were either booked or out of service. 36 were booked, 15 were not, meaning 70% of our available fleet was utilized. Obviously, not a great number. We're going to work on changing that today. We had 630 bids and 44 booked loads. 7.46% win ratio, which as you can see is not a very high number at all. Average rate per mile was 92 cents, which is actually up from what it's been lately. Um, Onward, this is the list of drivers that we have that have been waiting for a long time. The ones at the bottom of the list with 7 pit means that they were waiting from, it would be approximately 11 a.m. yesterday. So therefore, they were available for more than half of the business day, the working hours. And we view everyone on this list as people who should have been booked. Obviously, the drivers that are at the top with the higher pits or prime idle times are even bigger priority to book today. So we're going to do everything in our power to book these guys at the top of the list. And our goal is every day to finish without any red, pit or PT drivers. Meaning that our goal is for everyone who was available from noon or earlier that day to be booked and not be without a load that day. Okay. Onward, yesterday we cleared 6 Canadas. Everything went smoothly, so great job, ops team. It takes approximately 2 hours to get the clearance. This is Delays mostly occur due to insufficient information listed on the paperwork, customs broker being backed up, or too many shipments, or additional confirmation needed from the client. This isn't really anything related to you guys, like information that is relevant to you that you need to know about. We're sharing it just to kind of give you a sneak peek behind the curtain on what happens behind the scenes. So yeah, I mean, majority of time that there's a delay with a shipment, it's because the paperwork the customer provided us was wrong in some ways or was missing something, or they gave us the wrong information, the wrong customs broker information. So I will say, 99% of time there's a delay. It's not because of anything you guys, our drivers did, or anything really our dispatch did either. We always have a dedicated person whose job is to clear Canada paperwork. They begin the process as soon as we receive the paperwork. So from our side, 99% of time, the delay is not because of anything we're doing. Now, every once in a while, we're humans, we drop the ball as well. But the majority of times, it's just the customer doesn't provide us with the right stuff. Okay, onward, driver spotlight, MK, driver 032. Anytime you see a vehicle whose leading number is a zero, these guys and gals have a special place in my heart. Typically, these are also the drivers that have been with us for such a long time. When the company was smaller, I had more time to make these personal connections and relationships with drivers. Um, that's one of the things, with growth. Um, the top of the company sort of loses some of that freedom and time to invest in personal relationships with drivers, and it's just a sad reality, to give the most extreme example. The most extreme example, I mean, Jeff Bezos, doesn't have time to meet every single Amazon employee. Obviously, that's not the situation we have here, but what I'm saying is when we had 15 or 20 or 30 drivers in our fleet, I had a way more time than I do now, when we have 100 drivers and we're trying to develop other things. But anyways, back to this. This is a driver that I have also, had the honor of making a good relationship with. He lives in St. Louis, so we get to see each other a bit more. All around excellent human being. Um, 289 stops with 0 late arrivals is literally crazy. I mean, it's insane. 150 loads that are in our system um, with 0 unjustified late arrivals. So this just means that when Emmett was running late, it was valid. It was something like traffic or bad weather or not being given enough time, and he provided great communication. So thank you so much, Emmett, and all of our other drivers who do well in this segment. It's it's hard to comprehend somebody doing 289 stops without screwing up even one time. I mean, it's insane. So great job. Thank you so much for your hard work. Onward, yesterday our top dispatcher was King Horace himself with 21 booked loads, 554 average driver pay, 7.43 win ratio. Vedad had a better win ratio. That's mostly due to most of his bids being after hours where there's less competition and less loads available. 3 loads by Vedad, 21 by Haris. Mohamed there coming in with solid numbers himself, 17 booked loads, 466 was the average driver pay, and a 7.12 win ratio. Our win ratio has definitely been down across the board. We're going to work on figuring out what we need to do, to bring that back up. The easy answer is drop our rates, but that's not what we want to do. That's not what you guys want us to do. So we're going to explore ways we can bring that win ratio up without having to jeopardize our rates. Onward. Highest rate per mile load was a 36-mile load that paid $125, $3.47 per mile. Obviously, looking at RPMs, this is a phenomenal load. This is probably a load that took the driver an hour to do, maybe an hour and a half, and made $125 on it. Not a bad little, load. If you can get 2, 3 of these in a day, you can have yourself a pretty solid day, not waste a lot of fuel, and make a pretty good amount. The longest load was at California to Michigan, 2,265 miles for 1425, 63 cents a mile. Obviously not the rates we want to see. I guarantee you guys we don't book these rates unless we absolutely have to. And on a load like this, it's either you take this at this rate or you keep waiting for, maybe 70 cents in a load that pays 50 or $100 more. That might take you another day to book. The logic often ends up being just get the driver out, get him to a better area, and then from Michigan, the prices are much better. Onward, best load was a 451-mile load that paid $525. This was Ohio to Ontario. It's always loads to Ontario, so any driver out there that could do Canada loads but doesn't want to for any reason, just think about this. Almost every time we go over these best loads, it's an Ontario load. A load like this that was going to Michigan would, for 450 miles, would probably pay 400, right? So you're looking at $125 on one load. If you multiply that out over a month, if you have 6 loads that pay you $125 more, you're looking at 7, 8, 900, $1,000 more, right? That's just a word like the most basic case scenario of an example. If you multiply that out over a year, you're looking at between $10,000 and $20,000 a year more. With sort of a basic example on loads going to Ontario. So if you can go to Canada, you're doing yourself a disservice by not going to Canada. I'll say that. All right, and then the lowest RPM, not something we're happy to go over, not something we are happy to advertise, but we believe in transparency. We want to give our current drivers a full picture on what's going on. And then any drivers who are not with us that happen to come across these videos, listen, we're about transparency. We're not trying to deceive you, bait and switch, get you excited about one thing and then switch it up on you. Okay, so the lowest RPM was a Texas to Indiana, $625 for 1,048 miles at 60 cents a mile. Okay. Submit all your paperwork in black and white. Accurate and timely submissions help us maintain efficiency and keep everything running smoothly. Your cooperation is essential to our success. Thank you for driving our progress forward. Absolutely. All of these document scanners have the ability to convert documents to black and white. I will say, black and white itself is not like the main thing here. If you can get a picture, a scan of the document, and it has color, but it looks like a document and not like a picture with shadows and stuff, that's perfectly okay too. But, just take an extra second to make sure the documents, including PODs or Canada docs or anything else you're sending us, is legible, it's clear, it's a good quality. It just speeds up the process. Onward. Yesterday we had 90 stops, 94% on time. We had 5 late arrivals. Again, the goal is 98%. So to those 85 stops that our drivers did that were on time, excellent job. Excellent job in providing good communication. to those that were unjustified, remember, guys, our customers evaluate us on-time performance. They expect good communication. If you're going to be late for any reason, valid or invalid, please communicate to us. If it is a valid reason, such as not being given enough time or something along those lines, we will not count that against you. We will update the customer, and the customer is going to be completely okay with it. But remember, communication is always the most important thing in this. Success is not a destination, it is a journey. It's the direction in which we are traveling. Zig Ziglar is one of my favorite people to listen to. You guys have a lot of time, obviously, to listen to videos, YouTube, podcasts, and stuff like that. I can promise you that turning on a Zig Ziglar um, YouTube video will be an excellent way to invest your time. He's just one of these old school, good values, motivational speaker type guys. But, he's not talking about fluff. He's not talking about, it's not this modern age where they're selling you snake oil, Um, Success when you can embrace the journey, when you can enjoy the journey towards the success, that's when you can A, enjoy the journey, enjoy the process, and then B, have a greater chance of actually achieving that goal you're pursuing. If you can find a way to embrace whatever journey you're on and find a way to enjoy it, whether it's something you're trying to learn, enjoying the actual lessons, classes, learning process, or if it's working out, or if it's building a business. Right now we're sort of in that stage with the business. We'd love to jump ahead to that success where we have, 100 customers. We don't have to rely on these crooked brokers to give us loads. But that's not how life works. And if you're solely focused on the destination and not the actual journey, which is trial and error, hiring people, losing people, making mistakes, learning things, um, getting those customers one by one. If you can't find joy in the journey towards the destination of success, you're not going to be able to get there, and your life is just not going to be as enjoyable, right? So just I say this to our guys all the time. It's part of our journey. It's part of the road that we're traveling on. The mistakes, the failures, the trial and error is all a part of the story, and it's all a part of the journey. Life doesn't have a fast forward button, nor should it, right? Because when something is achieved without the grind, without the pain and suffering, as they say, you don't appreciate that thing as much. If somebody, if you give a child a brand new toy, they didn't have to do anything to earn it, they're not going to appreciate that toy as much. But if they had to do something, whether it's getting certain grades or saving up their allowance, and they had to then earn that toy that way, they're going to be much more appreciative of that toy. Same with adults. Zig Ziglar, excellent resource. I highly recommend everybody check him out. Onward. Did you know that the longest road in the world is a Pan America highway stretching over 19,000 miles? It connects most of the countries in Americas from Alaska all the way down to Argentina. This road passes through diverse terrains, including deserts, dense forests, and mountain ranges, making it a dream drive for any road trip enthusiast. Excuse me. So here's the image. This is insane. I didn't know about this. So you can get in your car and drive from the tip of North America, um, from Alaska, looks like Prudhoe Bay, all the way down to the bottom of South America. Could you imagine this? This would be a really cool thing for somebody to do, and I'm sure they've done it actually, and document. I'm sure that there's videos out, so I'm actually gonna check that out today because it'd be a really neat thing. I mean, you're literally going from snowy Alaska and maybe some ice and mountains through Denver and the mountains there, and then and that Pacific West maybe, and then you're going through the deserts, and then you're going down through Texas, and you're going through Mexico, and then all of South America. This is that'd be a really fun thing. We'll conclude there, guys. Yesterday, loads wise, was not a phenomenal day. We had a lot of our drivers that, were available for a good part of the day that we did not book. And that's something we're aware of, we're working towards. And today, our number one goal is to get as many of you guys booked back on track to make some money this week. We understand you guys have families to support. We understand you guys have bills to pay, and we are here to support you in doing all of that. So we'll conclude there. Actually, I'll hang out for another minute. If anyone has any questions, you can drop it in the chat. I see we got a few people on. Oh man. Yeah, I'll hang out for a minute. Oh, gotta unlock the door. Thank you. Let me just close this down. All right. We'll finish up here. Everyone stay safe today. God bless. Have a good